It was a quiet evening in the suburbs of Charleston, South Carolina, when my daughter-in-law, Sophia Harlan, dropped off my 5-year-old granddaughter, Emma, for what she said would be just one night. The next morning, as sunlight crept through the curtains of my modest bungalow, Emma tugged at my sleeve and whispered, "Nana." Her voice was so small, so hesitant. "Mommy said I shouldn't tell you about what I saw at our place." My stomach twisted. "Darling, what did you see?" I asked gently, kneeling to her level. What she told me next had me dialing the authorities before I could even catch my breath. If you're listening to this tale of quiet courage and hard-won justice, I hope it stirs something in you. Picture me there in that moment. Eleanor Hayes, a widow in her mid-60s, living in a cozy home edged by live oak trees draped in Spanish moss. The porch light from the quiet street outside flickered like a hesitant heartbeat, and the autumn air carried the faint scent of salt from the nearby harbor. That night, Sophia arrived unannounced, her face drawn tight under the glow of the headlights. She'd claimed a late shift at her job, a story she'd spun before, but this time her eyes avoided mine, darting to the shadows beyond the driveway. "You sure this is okay?" she asked for the second time, her fingers twisting the hem of her jacket. I nodded, forcing a warm smile, but inside, unease settled like fog. Emma clung to her mother's leg, her little backpack slung over one shoulder, clutching a threadbare stuffed rabbit named Hopper. The child's dress was rumpled, her cheeks pale, and those big hazel eyes pleaded silently for reassurance. Sophia bent down, murmuring, "Be good for Nana, okay? I'll be back soon." Then she straightened, gave me a quick, strained glance, and hurried to her car, the engine rumbling away into the night. I took Emma's hand and guided her inside, where the kitchen hummed with the comforting smell of vegetable stew I'd simmered earlier. "Sit down, sweetie. It's your favorite," I said, ladling a bowl. But she just poked at it with her spoon, her gaze distant. "Not hungry, Nana," she mumbled, barely audible. My chest ached. This wasn't the bubbly girl who'd once filled the house with giggles about playground adventures. That evening, she perched on the couch, Hopper in her lap, eyes glazing over a cartoon on the TV without really seeing it. I sat close, aching to bridge the gap, but her withdrawn silence held me back. Maybe, I thought, she just needs space to feel secure again. I tucked her into the spare room that night, the one with a faded quilt from my late son Thomas's childhood. She curled up facing the wall, Hopper pressed to her chest, and let out a sigh far too weary for a child. It echoed my own restless nights since Thomas's passing, the engineer whose laughter had once lit up these walls. I lay awake, listening to her soft breaths, whispering promises of safety she couldn't hear. Around midnight, a whimper pulled me from sleep. Emma thrashed in her dreams, murmuring, "Nana, don't let them take me." I stroked her forehead, soothing. "I'm right here, love. No one's taking you anywhere." But as she settled, a chill lingered, like an unspoken warning. Dawn broke softly, painting the wooden floors in gold. I busied myself in the kitchen, frying pancakes and brewing chamomile tea, hoping the routine would chase away the shadows. Emma shuffled in, hair tousled, eyes puffy from tears. "Did you rest okay, Pumpkin?" I asked lightly. She nodded vaguely, sliding into a chair, but keeping Hopper close. As I set her plate down, she whispered, almost to herself, "Mommy said not to say anything about the house." Time froze. I set the spatula aside, crouching beside her. "What do you mean, Emma? You can tell me anything." Her lower lip quivered, tears welling. "There's a girl in the cellar at home. She's locked up, Nana. She cries all the time. Says her arm really hurts." The words hit like a thunderclap. My fork clattered to the floor, milk spilling across the table. Emma's face crumpled, and she flung herself into my arms, sobbing. I held her, mind reeling. A locked girl? It sounded like a nightmare, but the raw fear in her voice said otherwise. Rocking her gently, I murmured, "It's all right, we'll fix this." But questions stormed through me. Was this real, or trauma from losing her dad? Sophia's odd behavior replayed, Her distance since Thomas died 3 years ago in a tragic bridge collapse during a storm. Those early days with Thomas, Sophia, and baby Emma were pure joy. Our home buzzed with life back then. Thomas, broad-shouldered and quick with a joke, would burst through the door after work, scooping Emma up for airplane rides. "Mom, you won't believe the chaos on site today. Nearly buried the foreman in gravel." He'd laugh, while Sophia and I chopped onions for pot roast, her laughter light as she asked, "Think Thomas will devour this?" I'd wink. "If not, I'll make him regret it." Evenings at the dinner table were magic. Thomas spinning tales of blueprints and banter, Emma perched on his knee, wide-eyed. "Papa, does the big crane touch the clouds?" she'd chirp. I'd watch them, grateful for this patchwork family after my husband's passing years before. But that rainy night shattered it all. The call came at 2 a.m. Thomas's truck had hydroplaned off a rural road. I clutched the phone, whispering denials, but reality crashed in. His service was under drizzling skies, Emma, then too, clinging to me, confused. "Where's Papa?" she'd ask. "He's on a long trip, but watching over you," I'd say, throat tight. Sophia stood apart, hollow-eyed, her grief a wall I couldn't breach. "I'm okay, Eleanor," she'd insist when I knocked on her door, but her sobs betrayed her. Grief twisted her. She withdrew, then moved to a rental across town. "Need a change," she said flatly. Losing daily time with Emma gutted me. Visits became rare weekends. The house echoed empty, Thomas's photo on the mantel, my only companion. "What now, son?"
Ide whispered meagerly.
Emma's visits grew strained. Her spark dimmed, fewer stories, more clinging to Hopper. "Everything's fine," she'd insist, but her eyes said no. Sophia brushed off my concerns. "She's adjusting." Doubt gnawed at me, but I swallowed it, fearing I'd push them away. Now, Emma's words ignited action. I soothed her, then drove her to preschool, the coastal breeze doing little to ease my turmoil. At the colorful schoolhouse, I pulled aside Ms. Riley, Emma's teacher, a warm woman in her 40s with a knack for spotting troubled hearts. In the staff room, amid crayon scents, I shared Emma's tale. Ms. Riley's face clouded. "I've seen changes too." Emma startles at loud noises, zones out during story time. Her drawings, they're haunting. A lone figure in a dim space, scribbled bars across a window. My pulse raced. "Bars? Like a cage." She nodded gravely. "It worries me. She might be processing something heavy." Walking home, those images haunted me. The trapped figure, Emma's terror. Was it imagination or horror? I needed answers. Later, on my porch swing amid blooming azaleas, my neighbor Mr. Langford paused his evening stroll. A retired sailor with keen eyes, he sensed my distress. "Everything all right, Eleanor?" I confided partially. Emma's story of a cellar girl. He leaned in. "Odd you mentioned that. Last week, insomnia had me up late. Saw Sophia hustling a small child inside around 1 a.m., not Emma. Shorter, darker curls. Heard faint whimpers, too. Thought it was nothing, but now." His account pieced together dread. That evening, Sophia arrived curtly for Emma. "Thanks," she snapped, avoiding my gaze. Emma peeked back, Hopper dangling, eyes begging. They left, and I stood alone, resolve Hardini. Dawn brought clarity. I boarded a bus to the local station, the harbor views blurring past. The brick building reeked of stale coffee. I demanded Captain Morrow, a weathered officer with a no-nonsense air. In his cluttered office, I poured out everything. Emma's words, the drawings, Mr. Langford's sighting. "Please," she's terrified. "Something's wrong." Morrow steepled his fingers. "I get your worry, ma'am, but a kid's story and hearsay? No warrant without solid proof." Desperation clawed me. What if a child suffering? He filed the report but urged patience. Defeated, I left, the sun mocking my chill. Gossip spread like marsh fire. At the corner grocer, whispers stung. Eleanor's imagining things, griefs addled her. Sophia had painted me as unhinged, desperate for custody. That night, She stormed my yard with her cousin Marcus, a burly mechanic, Emma in tow. "You're ruining us," Sophia wailed. Marcus loomed. "Back off our family, you meddler." Neighbors gawked, murmuring pity. Emma's window glance, silent plea, broke me. They drove off, leaving me isolated, branded mad. Exhaustion pinned me to my armchair, Thomas's photo staring back.
Guide-me, son.
Sleepless, Emma's whisper replayed. Morning market runs brought averted eyes, but my friend Lydia, widow next door, cornered me. "I know you're no liar, Eleanor. Emma looked haunted last night. Fight for her." Her faith sparked fire. "What if I can't?" "You must, for both of you." Trimming gardenias that afternoon, Mr. Langford hurried over, phone in hand. My grandson pulled store footage from that night. The grainy clip showed Sophia dragging a tiny girl, pajamas askew, steps faltering, into the house post-midnight. Not Emma. Proof surged through me. "This changes everything," I breathed. Langford nodded. "Go to them now." Back at the station, urgency fueled me. Morrow viewed the video, skepticism cracking. "Could be a relative," he muttered. I pressed. "Check missing kids. It matches no one local." Emma drew cages. She spoke of cries and pain. He dispatched an aide. Run descriptions. Minutes later, Captain, profile fits Mia Keller, 5, vanished from Beaufort 10 days ago. Morrow's jaw set. "Pull the file. Alert the team." Then, locals trickled in. Baker, Mrs. Ellis, chess enthusiast, Mr. Patel. "Heard cries from Sophia's at odd hours," Mrs. Ellis said. "Flickering basement light once," Mr. Patel added. Morrow straightened. "Warrant incoming. Dawn raid." Rain lashed my roof that night. I prayed for strength, clutching Thomas's old watch. "Protect them, son." Morning came gray. Patrol cars idled. Morrow beckoned. "With us?" I clutched my satchel, drawings, notes, and boarded. Sophia's street loomed, winds whipping petals like warnings. Morrow pounded the door. Sophia flung it open, fury masking panic. "What's this?" He flashed the warrant. Her glare pierced me. "You're doing?" "Stealing my child." Marcus barreled out, bellowing threats, but officers held him. Through the door, Emma huddled, eyes locked on mine. Searches echoed, drawers yanked, floors creaked. Sophia trailed, ranting. "Eleanor's delusions." Morrow zeroed on the cellar hatch. She blocked it wildly. "Just junk." But the lock yielded with a groan. A flashlight pierced the gloom. Damp air rushed out, carrying a child's muffled sob. From the murk, Mia emerged, disheveled, arm bandaged crudely, eyes wild. "Help," she whimpered. An officer scooped her up. "Ambulance." I sagged against the rail, tears flowing. Neighbors gasped. "Eleanor's right." Sophia lunged, shrieking excuses, but cuffs clicked. In the basement, officers unearthed journals, cryptic rites, signed by Victor Lang, a cult figure from recent scandals. "Connections to that fringe group," Morrow growled. Mia to the hospital. Emma to me, finally in my arms. Sophia spat venom as they led her away. "You've ended us." But truth silenced her. Days blurred into media frenzy, but I focused on healing. At the clinic, Mia's parents enveloped her, then me. "You gave us our miracle, Eleanor." Neighbors apologized, Mrs. Ellis with pie, Mr. Patel with regrets. "We failed you," they said. Lily, no. Emma earned praise as the brave whisper. Charges mounted. Abduction, confinement, cult links. Marcus questioned as accomplice. Our home revived. Emma and Mia giggling over tea parties, Hopper and a new doll in tow. The Kellens visited. Be Mia's honorary Nana? I teared up, hugging both girls. That night, Emma nestled close. "Am I brave, Nana?" "The bravest," I said, kissing her brow. "You spoke truth." Her smile bloomed. Outside, stars winked over the oaks. Thomas, I sensed, approved. Scars lingered, but light returned. Family forged anew in courage's fire. This account veils real names for privacy, shared not to condemn, but to ponder. In silence or storm, what path calls you? Your thoughts matter. They illuminate others. May bravery guide us all.